What's going on, YouTube? This is Wifimerriman here today, bringing you guys a best of 3 I have against the BP Gamer. I'm wanting to do a lot of this type of series, so if you guys want to do a best of 3 against me, you're more than welcome to ask me down in the comments down below. I had a lot of fun with this one, as this is a post narration of this. This is not a live narration. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. I see his team of Mammoth1, Corviknight, Dragapult, Surfetch, Roserade, and Clefairy. Now, going into this, my biggest problem against his team was a Dragapult. So I was like, okay, game 1, I do want to go ahead and lead Double Fairy. And then I was looking at his team, I was like, okay, so Dracovish is a good answer, and I believe Arcanine is a very, very good answer to his team, as Arcanine threatens 4 of his Pokemon. 1, 2... Okay, just 3 of his Pokemon, but I could also use Arcanine for a burning Pokemon as well, so setting up the Will-O-Wisp and everything, so to me that sounds just fine and dandy. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this battle started. Alright. So he decides to lead Clefairy, Dragapult, and like I said in the team preview, that was my biggest worry, was a Dragapult lead. So I went ahead and led my Double Fairy. So right here, I decided to go for a Dazzling Gleam and a Tailwind with my Whimsicott. And I believe what he goes for is a Dynamax into a Max Lightning and a Helping Hand from his Clefairy. But yeah, he does, I believe, Dynamax is his Dragapult. I think he takes a little bit of time to figure out what he wants to do right now, because, I mean, this is somewhat of a threatening lead. It forces him to Dynamax his Dragapult, I believe. Because being Double Fairy, he's got to be afraid of me just being able to one-shot his Dragapult. So I was either expecting a switch or a Dynamax from him, and he goes for the Dynamax route. So I was like, okay. So as we'll see, this Clefairy goes for a Helping Hand. And like I said, I'm going to go for a Tailwind and a Dazzling Gleam. So that to me helps me out a lot. Get some damage off, some nice little chip damage. Can't ever hurt nothing. This Max Lightning comes out, and in the back of my head I was like, maybe I could take it. No. I do not take that very well. So I was like, okay. Well, that's good information to know here. I'm sitting here thinking, man, game 1, I'm done. And then I had a brilliant idea pop into my head as I was thinking of what to do. I was like, I'm going to go into Dracovish. I'm going to protect. In my eyes, I don't see a big counter to this Dracovish other than this Dragapult. So I was like, I think he's going to be afraid of my Dracovish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to protect my Dracovish. And then the next turn, because I'm going to try and get rid of his Dynamax, I'm actually going to be switching into my Arcanine to take the Dragapult attack from the other hit from, so he goes for Max Wormwind against my Dracovish anyway, as we'll see in a second. But yeah, I went ahead and went for a Dynamax onto my Whimsicott, just due to me, I want to try and put some pressure on the board, and I figured this might be the best way to put some pressure onto the board. So we put Whimsicott out here. I was like, okay, so he is now forced to go for Follow Me, because if he doesn't follow me, I'm for certain to do at least 75% to his Dragapult. If not just knock it out. I believe he knows this, so he's forced to go for a Follow Me here. So I go for the Starfall, get some really good damage onto this Clefairy in my opinion. I was actually very pleased with that damage. As I do go for the protect with the Dracovish. Here's the Max Wormwind, and doesn't quite do enough damage for me to even worry about it. I was like, okay, good. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, I know this Dragapult's a special Dragapult because having Max Lightning first off kind of tipped me off that maybe it's off of Thunderbolt or something. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to switch that out into my Arcanine, and now I'm going to force this Clefairy to go for another Follow Me, because if he doesn't, we're knocking out his Dragapult. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. So we're going to switch into my Arcanine. Arcanine actually ends up taking this hit very well, as Arcanine is my special wall. One of my 2 special walls on this team. Snorlax being my other special wall, but Snorlax does not make an appearance, at least in game 1. Here's a Follow Me though. And here's the Max Starfall. And this KOs the Clefairy, which is great because now it just leaves that Dragapult. I sit and duck for the next turn because here's Max Wormwind, and yeah, it didn't do hardly anything. That was a little over 50 damage to my Arcanine. I was expecting at least to my Citrus Berry, but no. So I was like, okay, I'll take that. You know, that to me is just fine. What surprised me here was he went to Roserade. I was like, I have an Arcanine on the field. That is very, very surprising to me. So I was like, okay, is he seeing if I have a fire move or something? I mean, Roserade is a special defensive wall. Could be considered specially defensive. Actually, fun fact, I used to run a Roserade back in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black and White. It was in the UU tier in Smogon. And I kick butt with it, man. I like Roserade. Roserade's a very great Pokemon. And I won many matches because of Roserade. But it doesn't help him out here, as I'm able to Max Starfall to knock out this Dragapult, and I show him Heat Wave. So, alright, and what I like about this Whimsicott Dynamax is, once Tailwind's done, I undynamax. So therefore it gives me an opportunity to go ahead and reset my Tailwind, which actually probably comes in more clutch than what you guys think in many battles, not in just this battle right here. In many battles that comes in big clutch, because I'm able to keep pressure. If they can't keep up the speed against me, then they can't hold pressure. And this team of mine right now holds some really strong pressure. They can't necessarily just one-shot my Whimsicott, because my Whimsicott's a Focus Sash. So it makes it very, very tricky for our opponent to, when he's in this scenario right here. So he goes for Sludge Bomb, probably hoping for the KO. He may have known I was Focus Sash, but he has to go into my Arcanine. So I stop using Heat Waves, because if I do one more Heat Wave, his Roserade will faint. So he has to preserve that Roserade any way, shape, or form that he can. The only problem is, though, he allows me to get my Tailwind off. So Dracovish can come out here now, and all I have to do is click a Moonblast and a Psychic Fangs. I can probably click Vicious Rend if I really, really wanted to, but I don't. I'll just go ahead and click Psychic Fangs and Moonblast that Surfetch, and that should be game 1. There should be no way he can live, because most Surfetches are that league to get the critical hits, which is actually pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's pretty much the same thing as Scope Lens Togekiss, but it's version of Scope Lens Togekiss, which in my opinion Surfetch may be considered better, because he gets to have a another ability as well called Scrappy. What Scrappy does is allows you to hit like ghost types with your fighting stab move and stuff. So it's really, really cool. I think you're able to even use normal moves against them. But anyway, here comes game 2. Game 2, I was thinking, man, he's got to be pressuring my Whimsicott in game 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave Whimsicott behind and actually lead Dusclops, and I believe I lead Arcanine. the reason behind me wanting to lead Trick Room, one, I believe that he's going to probably bring some of his speedier stuff, trying to outdo maybe my tail end. So I was like, okay, I can definitely fight that by going Trick Room. And then I bring Dracovish in the back with Togekiss. Now I was thinking, man, I probably need to bring Whimsicott. And I was like, no, I think he can counter Whimsicott pretty hard. I think if he sees Whimsicott, he's going to go pretty hard into it. And I don't want to do that because I need a fairy type to fight his Surfetch, is what was in my mind. I was like, okay, I could use Dracovish, but if it comes down to it, I think I'd feel better knowing that I have a fairy type in the back will definitely help me out. So we'll go ahead and get this battle started. And let's go ahead and see what he leads with. Anyway, cool art card, by the way. I did say yes to it, so I do have that now in my records that I have your battle card. But anyway, he goes into his Corviknight and Mamoswine as I go into my Dusclops Arcanine. Now, what goes in the back of my head was, okay, I don't want to necessarily go for Trick Room because it's not necessary. In the back of my mind, it's like, it's not necessary yet for me to go for Trick Room. So what I prefer to do is go ahead and burn the Mamoswine and potentially maybe even trying to burn that Corviknight later on into the battle if I need to. Corviknight isn't the biggest threat to what I brought, other than it threatens my Togekiss I brought in the back. So I was kind of like, okay, so Corviknight's maybe not the most threatening. As that Mamoswine, though, is very threatening. So let's go ahead and get that Mamoswine burned, is what I was really thinking. I do get a Heat Wave off, hoping kind of for a burn on that Corviknight, but I didn't get it. He goes for an Iron Head. I'm assuming to try and flinch my Dusclops. I'm assuming he thought I was going to go for Trick Room. And this team doesn't have to go for Trick Room to be successful. So to me, if he did get the flinch, the only thing that would have mattered was that I didn't get a burn onto the Mamoswine. Where now I get a burn on the Mamoswine, and it makes it to where his damage output is really, really minimum. I don't really have to worry about the Mamoswine anymore. So I went ahead and go for the ally switch with my Dusclops, because I was thinking, okay, I'll let Dusclops take that high horsepower, and I'll let Arcanine go ahead and take the Iron Head. But he actually mixes it up a little bit and goes for a Rock Slide. So very, very good play by my opponent. Good job, BP. And then his Corviknight dodges my my Heat Wave. But yeah, good read actually with that Rock Slide, because I was actually expecting high horsepower, and when I saw Rock Slide, I was like, oh crap. Maybe he was actually trying for the double flinches there too, though, trying to stop my Trick Room, because he did technically double into my Dusclops. I think he was afraid of Trick Room. I really do think he's. So if I had to go, so I'm keeping that information for game 3 maybe. That hey, he doesn't like Trick Room. He don't. He's targeting Dusclops really hard. So right here, what I do, I went ahead and I believe I go for a Heat Wave if I could get it off. Mamoswine actually just finishes off my Arcanine though. Here comes the Iron Head into my Dusclops. Again, he's aiming for those flinches. He's not getting the flinch though. As I'm able to just Nightshade some more damage off for that Corviknight. That makes the matchup with Dracovish against Corviknight a lot easier in my opinion. Because now I can easily just go for a Vicious Rin into the Corviknight slot. And go for a Nightshade into the Mamoswine slot. I do believe that we are in his head a little bit, because we did go ahead and show the ally switch. even though we done it for one turn, and he technically got the read correct, but he goes for an icicle crash onto my Dusclops. Either he's trying for the flinch, or he was making a read for Dracovish. I really don't know. But anyway, we get the Nightshade off. Anyway, so no flinches for my opponent. Get the burn, chip damage, and he barely survives. So I was like, really? Because I was kind of banking on getting that thing knocked out that turn. But he had just enough HP to hold on. So I know one more turn and I'll be able to knock him out. Here comes the Surf Edge. And what I was thinking was, I believe I go for Protect this turn with Dracovish. No, he goes for Detect and he goes for a Rock Slide, I believe, or an Icicle Crash, one or the other. He actually protects Surf Edge, and as I was going for Vicious Rim, I knew one of us protected there. I go for an Ally Switch, actually trying to get a safe Vicious Rim off, so he did make the right call there. And it's a good read on my opponent, because I figured he would be trying to target the Dracovish, but he does not. Well, he may have read my Ally Switch. I really don't know what he done, but he, one way or another, the Surf Edge is still in the field as Mammoth One does faint due to the burn. So he comes and brings out Clefairy here. And I still have a Togekiss in the back, so I'm not too worried about this matchup. What I was thinking was maybe I can go ahead and burn the Surf Edge, but then again, I was thinking, no, I think I want to get some damage on that Clefairy, because in my opinion, the Clefairy with the Frangard may be a problem. So I was like, okay, I'll Nightshade, and I believe I go ahead and switch into my Togekiss here. The reason I switched into Togekiss is because I was pretty much predicting maybe like a close combat into Dracovish, as Dracovish is a threat to your Surf Edge. But so is Togekiss. Togekiss can definitely resist a Max Knuckle or close combat. So I was like, okay, we're good. We're sitting good with Togekiss here. He does go and reveals to me though that he's not afraid to Dynamax the Surf Edge, which is good. He goes for the Follow Me with the Clefairy, and he goes for Max Airstream with his Surf Edge. As I'm getting damage off with Dusclops going for Nightshade onto the Clefairy. Now, right here, something kind of clicked in my head. I was like, okay, so I don't know if he's going to be ignoring my Dusclops this turn, but if he is, then I'm going to go ahead and set a Trick Room. Well, actually, I'm going to set a Trick Room no matter what, because I'm going to go for Follow Me. The worst case, the only way he'd be able to hit me is if Clefairy has a Dazzling Gleam, and that ain't going to do nothing to my Dusclops. So I was like, okay, this is a free Trick Room pretty much. So I'll go for Follow Me on Togekiss. Clefairy goes for Follow Me for itself. He goes for Max Airstream. I was like, okay, I can live that. He gets a critical hit on me, which is expected. Like I told you before, him holding the leak is kind of like the Scope Lens on Togekiss. He just gets high critical hit ratio chances with a bunch of his moves and all that. So it's pretty cool. But I do set the Trick Room. And so now I send out Dracovish. So now, with Dracovish on the field, I know he's going to be the fastest thing on the field. But I do not want this Surf Edge to get any damage, any big hit damage on him. So I was like, okay. So I was thinking about Dynamaxing Dusclops here, because I need some damage on that Clefairy, trying to knock it out this turn. But I was like, no. We'll go ahead and Nightshade, and we'll go ahead and protect Dracovish. The reason I'm protecting Dracovish right here is mostly due to trying to just get by one more turn of his Dynamax. trying to just end his Dynamax. The moment his Dynamax ends, I'm actually going to be Dynamaxing my Dracovish. So that way I can put as much pressure on him as possible. As he goes for the Max Airstream, which I didn't understand that. I really did not understand that, because you know you're in Trick Room. That pretty much guarantees that you're going to be way slower in Trick Room, and you're probably going to be already faster than me out of Trick Room because you do have a +1. But he knows his speed probably better than I do. So I mean, maybe he was going for the damage too, because it was pretty decent damage. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and Dynamax my Dracovish here. And pretty much go for a Max Mindstorm, trying to target the Surfetch. And he goes for the Double Protect play, so I'm not able to get too much damage off this turn, but next turn I know I'll be able to get a KO at least on that Clefairy, because that Clefairy should be going for Follow Me. I'm forcing it to follow me because he has a pretty much, if I hit his Surfetch with the Max Mindstorm, he's gonna faint. So he's forced to go for a Follow Me here, and pretty much see what my opponent wants to do. If I believe he goes for a close combat with his Surfetch into my Dusclops here, which kind of surprised me a little bit. I did not realize at the time that Surfetch actually had the ability Scrappy. I kind of learned that during this set right here, which was pretty crazy. Pretty awesome ability though. Here comes the Max Mindstorm after the Nightshade onto the Clefairy, being enough to KO the Clefairy. And now, all he's got left is his Surfetch as he goes for the close combat. And, pretty much, this almost seals the game. He does go for the, Detect this next turn to stall one more turn of my Dynamax. I go for Max Mindstorm, and this, through his Protect, does so much damage. It's so crazy. Does so much damage. Max Mindstorm comes on out, and I'm watching it go down. I was like, oh man, that's pretty crazy. So right here, I was like, okay, the only way for me to win is if I live the attack. If I attack him with any move, I'm going to probably pick up the KO. So all I have to do is live the attack. Here comes the close combat, and I was so happy I invested some of that HP investment into my Dracovish, because we're able to live and get off the Psychic Fangs for the win. So that was game 1 and game 2 of the best of 3 against the BP Gamer. If you guys enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell for more videos like this. If you guys want to try and battle me, I'll be very open to do it. I do have a Discord. I'll try and leave all my information down in the description down below. Anyway guys, you guys have been awesome. Thanks for watching. Peace out.